Today we have a great video for you about how to get Amazon reviews in 2019 and beyond. Let's face it, it's getting harder and harder to get reviews on Amazon. We all are frustrated as sellers, but today we have a great list of 11 ways to get Amazon reviews. And before we get into them, I'm going to tell you, it starts off as the white hat stuff and gets a little bit gray towards a black hat, but you can implement these in your business how you see fit.
All right, before we get into the first item on the list, let's talk about the review landscape today in 2019. Now, to understand the review landscape now, let's go back 3 years to the end of 2016. Now, this is a day that we probably both remember when Amazon basically eliminated the ability to get incentivized reviews. Now, if you were a seller way back then, you remember all the tricks and games that sellers used to play, basically giving away products in exchange for customers to leave a 5-star positive review. Amazon got rid of all of this gimmickry in 2016, so there are no longer any incentivized reviews on Amazon. Or at least that's a theory. Of course, they still occur, but in theory, you should not be getting incentivized reviews at all.
All right, so like I said before in the intro, we're going to start with the white hat stuff. We'll kind of designate whether this is white hat, gray hat, or black hat as we go through the list. And we have 11 of these for you. So let's start with number 1, the whitest of the white hat thing here, which is to use Amazon's early reviewer program. You can find this within your Seller Central account. It's $60, I believe, to sign up for the early reviewer program, and that will get you up to 5 reviews that Amazon will actually incentivize someone to do, but it's after they made the purchase and it's through Amazon's system. We've had really good success with this tactic.
All right, number 2 is to turn your seller feedback into customer product reviews. Now, a lot of customers on Amazon still leave seller feedback when in fact they meant to leave a product review. Now, if you're up to date in current selling practices, you know if somebody actually ever leaves you a negative product review in seller feedback, you can actually request Amazon to get rid of that feedback. Now, if you are getting a lot of positive feedback, product feedback in your seller reviews, you want to direct people to leave that as a product review. And often simply asking them, hey, you left us some seller feedback, do you mind leaving us this feedback as a product review, is enough to get them to take their feedback and leave it as a product review. Now, you have to be a little bit careful with your messaging here. Amazon does not like you to solicit only positive reviews, so be a little bit careful with this, but trying to turn that seller feedback into product reviews is a great strategy.
Yeah, so I would classify this one as tiptoeing into the gray hat world. It was a very white hat tactic up until recently, but Amazon has come out and said to basically take it easy on doing this. So just your mileage might vary and just be careful. All right, guys, let's move on to the third thing on our list, which is product inserts. And this can vary anywhere from very white hat to very black hat, depending on what you print on the insert. Stay away from things like, and I've seen people do this, it's incredible. Stay away from things like, we will give you a $20 gift card if you leave us a review. That's incentivizing a review. But you have an opportunity to do things that are white hat. For instance, you could say, please leave us feedback for this product on the platform that you purchased it. And if you're more of an Amazon-only seller, you can even leave instructions on how to leave product reviews versus seller feedback, which is another thing that we talked about here already. You want to direct people to leaving you product feedback, product reviews, and not seller feedback. Another great thing that we talked about actually in one of our premium courses is how to use these inserts to register for an extended warranty, and as a part of that, you can then ask them for a review as a follow-up sequence. So those are how we've been using inserts to generate more reviews.
Number 4 on the list is to ask for product reviews from customers that you've already supplied great customer service to. So in some of our brands, we'll often get a lot of buyers messaging us before they buy a product for fitment questions and other product related questions. And a lot of times we'll go back and forth with these buyers several different times. And they've already had a positive relationship with our brand at that point. We've been giving excellent customer service. When that happens, we'll reach out to the buyer a week or two after and say, hey, by the way, do you mind leaving us a product review? Now, this is approaching, again, a little bit of a gray hat area because you are in some ways soliciting positive feedback because you're relatively confident that the buyer has been pretty happy with your company at this point, and now you're asking them to leave a review. but it's still relatively white hat because you are not directing them in any way to leave either a 5-star review or some type of positive review. You're leaving that up to them.
All right, guys, we've moved on to the 5th thing on our list, which is to use ManyChat or Facebook Messenger to communicate with your customers off Amazon and ask for a review that way. And this is another thing that we've actually got a full course on in our Ecom Crew Premium section on how to build Facebook chatbots. But the idea is to be communicating with people beforehand, before they made the purchase, and at some point ask them, have you purchased the product, or ask them questions like that, and then ask them to please leave a review. And again, you want to be careful here. You don't want to, because you're off Amazon, I've seen people take this to another level and make it really black hat. I don't recommend doing that. Keep it white hat. Just say, if you have purchased the product, please leave us an honest review on the platform that you made the purchase. And that way it's still agnostic and doesn't push people or incentivize them or incentivize them in any way, I guess, to leave that review.
All right, moving on to technique number 6 on how to get reviews, and this is through discounted products and product giveaways. Now you might be saying, uh-oh, this sounds like 2016 with incentivized reviews and product giveaways. That's not where we're getting at. With Amazon, they actually have a thing called Amazon giveaways, and basically this is an Amazon-based giveaway feature of their website, and you set a small number of products that you want to give away, and customers can enter to win these products for absolutely free. Now the great thing is, not only are you giving away products for free, you also will get a lot of customers will in turn buy your products at a slight discount because you'll couple this giveaway with a coupon code. Now what happens is there's no direct tie to a product review doing this, but you're going to see your sales start to climb up and you'll get a huge influx in sales. And more sales normally means more reviews. So that's a great way to do it. The other way to do it is through simply offering an across-the-board product discount. So when we launch products, we like to price our products around 25% less than their normal value, because what this does is it gets great initial traction for our products, and again, it gets more sales, which leads to more reviews. Now, there are definitely ways to go about giving away discounted products that start to tiptoe into incentivized reviews. There are a lot of launch services which give away products for free, and they do not ask for product reviews, but everyone has a little wink, wink, nudge, nudge, where they know that they are supposed to leave a product review, and that is definitely inching into gray hat and black hat territory.
All right, we're already to number 7 here on our list, and this is actually one of my favorite ones. This is not only a review strategy, but a really good way to launch new products on Amazon, which is that we've been building off Amazon email lists for quite a while now. We've built over 100,000 subscribers for Color It. It's worked really well. So when we do launch a new product or we need to solicit feedback or anything like that from our customers, we have a great pool to pull from. So these are going to be people that you already have a relationship with, because hopefully you've been providing them valuable content through email, through the process of a better months or years at this point. And so whenever you have a new product to launch, you can set that out to them in email, and then also ask for a review as a part of that. So the way that this would work would be like, hey, Mr. Customer, we have this brand new product, go check it out on Amazon. And then maybe a week or two later, send another email that says something like, hey, Mr. Customer, we hope that you did purchase the ABC product, because there's no way to know, obviously, off Amazon email to Amazon if they made the purchase. But you can say, hey, if you did make the purchase, we would really appreciate your honest feedback and let people know how you like the product. And that works out really, really well.
All right, we're almost on to tip number 8, but before we get into that, let's have a little segue here and talk about how do you find out who actually left you a review on Amazon. Now, a lot of people watching this video are wondering, hey, can I figure out who left me a negative review on Amazon and contact them to ask them to remove it, or offer them some other kind of service to get them to change that review? Well, this all changed in 2018. There used to be a way to figure out who left a review through something called the buyer ID. Amazon got rid of that in 2018, and all these great tools like AMZ Fire ceased to work. So as of now, there is no way to figure out who left an Amazon product review unless they've actually left that review under the same name that they used to purchase your product. All right, now let's talk about gray hat and black hat ways, very overt gray hat and black hat ways to get reviews. And let's talk about probably the more gray area of getting reviews, and that is one that probably a lot of sellers are guilty of, and that is asking friends and acquaintances an old mummy to leave you a product review. And the way this works is you ask a friend or a family member to buy your product, so you get the verified badge when they do leave a review, and they buy your product and then of course leave you a 5-star review. If you are going to do this, so be very aware that Amazon has excellent tracking systems to figure out if there's a connection between who bought your product and who you are. So if you are going to have a friend or family member do this, we definitely do not endorse this, but if you are going to do it, make sure that there is not a linear connection between you and that person. Make sure that you've never shared an IP address with them. Make sure that you've never shared a shipping address with them. Just make sure that there's no clear connection between you and that person.
All right, the next thing on here is definitely Black Hat, and we don't really love talking about Black Hat stuff at Ecom Crew, but we also like to let people know what is out there and what other people are doing. I can say this is something that I have not done, but what you can do is something called an Append Service. So there's a few different softwares out there that will kind of troll your Amazon accounts and pull out email addresses and people's names that you can then match up to Facebook. And the idea here is to run ads to customers who have made purchases on Amazon and solicit reviews off Amazon to do this. Again, definitely Black Hat, because you're just basically doing something that would get you in trouble if you sent the email on Amazon.com, but you're trying to fly under the radar by doing this. It is effective. Like I've actually been to a presentation before at one of the events that I spoke at where someone was talking about this and they had some stats about how this was working. It makes sense that it would be effective, and you can even really push the envelope in your advertising to not only offer a review, but really incentivize by saying, we'll give you another one for free if you come leave a review, or we'll give you 50% off your next order, or we'll give you some free widget, whatever it might be. So it is effective. But man, I would definitely be careful. For me, I'm a little bit of a weenie when it comes to this white hat, black hat stuff, because I don't want to get my account shut down. But depending on where you're at in your journey and how much you're willing to push it, I do think it's important to at least make people aware of this tactic.
All right, now let's get into the really black, shadowy area of Amazon, and let's talk about review brushing. Now, what's brushing? Well, brushing is basically where somebody has access to a bunch of zombie accounts. And what do I mean by zombie accounts? A zombie account is basically a fake buying Amazon account. And with these fake accounts, someone will buy your product and then they'll leave you fake positive reviews. And this is how you've probably encountered at some point in your selling career, where all of a sudden a seller, and unfortunately a lot of times it's a Chinese seller, all of a sudden a brand new product appears with a ton of positive reviews, and this is a result of review brushing. Now, this is about as black hat as you can get. We do have actually one or two more, even more black hat ways that you can get your account suspended with, but review brushing is definitely a big no-no. Amazon is getting better and better by the day at detecting these types of things. And if there's one thing that will lead to a permanent account suspension, it is something like buying fake reviews like this. And this is something Amazon, like I mentioned, is getting better and better at detecting. So highly do not recommend you to even creep into this type of review strategy.
All right, this next one on the list is another one of these things, like you should be aware of it, but I wouldn't recommend doing it. I was kind of blown away by this even existing, but you can actually pay Amazon employees. Most of them are based outside the United States, either in China, in the Philippines, or in India. And then they'll actually go in and delete negative reviews for you from your account. So if you know, it's frustrating getting these negative reviews on your account. I really wish there was a way to contact the reviewer, like we were just talking about. It's hard to get a hold of the reviewer and make it right for them. But it's obviously, it'd be great if you could just wipe it off the face of the earth. But I would definitely stay away from that tactic. I'm sure there's some database or record of reviews that are being deleted, and if Amazon wanted to come back and haunt you someday for this, they definitely could. So I think it's one of these things where it's enticing, but I would definitely stay away from it.
So if you're curious about these review deletion services, they are expensive. They're $300 and above per review to get deleted. Wow. And normally these service providers actually require you to buy them in groups, so normally 5 or 10 groups. So you can imagine, you are talking hundreds or thousands of dollars to get reviews deleted, even if you wanted to. Now, the bigger question is, what is the cost of your Amazon account? Because right. Eventually you are probably going to get that dreaded letter from Amazon that your account has been suspended. So that wraps up the 11 ways to get Amazon reviews. Hopefully you found these useful. If we missed any great strategies for getting reviews on Amazon in 2019, feel free to comment in the comment section below. Until the next one, happy selling.